Spartacus was born in Thrace, a region in modern-day Bulgaria, and is believed to have once served as an auxiliary in the Roman army. At some point, he was captured and taken to Italy, where he was forced into the brutal life of a gladiator. He was sent to the gladiator school of Lentulus Spatiades in Capua, a place where men were trained to fight and die for the entertainment of Roman audiences. But Spartacus was not willing to accept this fate. In 73 BCE, he and about 70 other trained fighters plotted an escape. They broke out of the school, killed the guards, and seized weapons. Fleeing to the rugged terrain of Mount Vesuvius, they began gathering strength as others seeking freedom joined them. Rome quickly responded, sending a force of 3,000 soldiers under the command of Praetor Gaius Claudius Glaber to trap Spartacus and his growing army on the mountain. The Romans believed they had them cornered, but Spartacus and his men used their environment to their advantage. They wove ropes from vines, climbed down the cliffs, and launched a surprise attack, completely overwhelming the Roman forces. Victorious, they seized more weapons and supplies, transforming themselves from a band of fugitives into a disciplined and deadly force. Word of their victory spread quickly, and soon thousands flocked to join them: peasants, laborers, and even former Roman soldiers who had grown disillusioned with the empire. Within months, Spartacus commanded an army of over 30,000 fighters. Rome, now realizing the scale of the uprising, sent a full legions under the command of Lucius Gellus and Gnaeus Lentulus to crush them. But Spartacus proved to be more than just a skilled warrior. He was a brilliant strategist. He led his army in a series of lightning-fast attacks, using the Roman legions' rigid tactics against them. In battle after battle, he outmaneuvered and obliterated Roman forces, taking their weapons, armor, and supplies. His army swelled to an astonishing 120,000 men, women, and children, a force unlike anything Rome had ever faced from within its own borders. With this massive army at his command, Spartacus set his sights on escape. His plan was to march north, cross the Alps, and leave Roman territory forever. But for reasons still debated perhaps, pressure from his followers or a belief that Rome itself could be challenged, he turned back south. This decision would prove to be fatal. By now, the Roman Senate had called upon one of its wealthiest and most ruthless generals, Marcus Licinius. Crassus raised 8 legions, over 40,000 highly trained soldiers, and employed brutal discipline to ensure his army's loyalty. He used a horrifying punishment called decimation, executing every 10th man in his own ranks to instill fear and obedience. Unlike the commanders before him, Crassus did not underestimate Spartacus. He forced the rebel army south, trapping them in the toe of Italy, near the region of Britain. Spartacus attempted to negotiate with pirates to secure passage to Sicily, but the deal fell through, leaving him and his army with nowhere to run. In 71 BCE, with no other option, Spartacus led his army into a final, desperate battle against Crassus. Though outnumbered and surrounded, he and his men fought with everything they had. Spartacus himself is said to have charged directly at Crassus, cutting down many before being overwhelmed. His body was never found, but the battle ended in complete devastation for his army. Over 50,000 of his fighters were slain on the battlefield, and 6,000 survivors were captured and crucified along the Appian Way, the main road leading into Rome. Though the rebellion was crushed, Spartacus' name lived on. He became a symbol of defiance against oppression. His story was retold for centuries as a legend of resistance and courage. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.